another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, sticking up without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
I'm on mute. Hey, guys. It's Old Man G here, back again for another stream. Ironically enough, it is not about the takeover. So it is what it is. And obviously, when it's not about the takeover, there's less interest. But anyway, remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on the stream. We are not to smash the notification button. Play this Manchester United news and more. And this is just going to be a brief. Like, as you can see, it's in the title, it's in the chat. Welcome to Manchester United, Mason Mount. I'm not going to be live long, but I just want to officially welcome Mason Mount to Manchester United and obviously give my thoughts on the transfer. And I guess the surprise reveal of the number 7 shirt. But it is what it is, you know. So, like I said, guys, for those who are watching and those who will be watching, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you drop a sub if you're new, and obviously comment below. It goes a long way. So yeah, Mason Mount to Manchester obviously did agreed 55 million pounds with 5 minutes worth of add-ons. Obviously, Mount is also our new number 7. Apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, Ten Hag used it as a means to show that he really wanted Mason Mount to come to the football club, and that's fair enough. It's a very interesting signing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, am I as infused for this as I was for, let's say, Casemiro? No. I think that, you know, like I said, I welcome Mason Mount to Manchester United. I really hope that he has a successful career at the club. And especially now that he's got number 7 jersey, like, I hope he takes that and runs with expectation, performs well. I really do. I really, really do. The only thing I'll say is that I'll be honest. I never thought that a number 8 in my position was our priority signing for this summer. I didn't. I thought a striker was our priority. And I'm worried that we won't get one, but hopefully we will, if the budget permits. I look at where he'll play. I mean, people are saying, for example, that he's going to be a replacement for Eriksen. But then I'm like, so you're going to play Bruno, Mount, and Casemiro in the midfield? I'm not sure how that will work. It seems quite... that seems like quite an attacking midfield, you know? So I don't know. I really don't know. But it might work. Who knows? I've got no idea. But, you know, I think... And then, of course, number 7, which, you know, I'm like neither here nor there in terms of how I feel about that. I mean, I never would have thought that Mason Mount, the guy who said that he was, you know, bleeding Corbyn, Chelsea, up the Chelsea and so on, gets number 7 top. It is just a number. It's not that big of a deal, but it was surprising to me. It was surprising to me to see it this morning that not only do we sign him, obviously, but that he gets number 10 shirt. So it was very strange, but it is what it is. All in all, though, I do want Mason Mount to succeed at Manchester United. I think that he, you know, I think that we obviously need to sign midfield players, and he is one of them. It'll be interesting to see how Ten Hag utilizes him. It'll be very, very interesting to see how Ten Hag utilizes Mason Mount. Whether that means, I don't know, you know, does he use 2 number 8s with Bruno and Fernandes with Casemiro alone holding? Or does he get Mason Mount to drop deeper in that role? Which I don't know. For me, when I saw him at Chelsea, I saw him as an 8. I didn't really see Mason Mount in that kind of deeper role, but maybe Ten Hag can coach him into that, possibly be his kind of Frankie De Jong. I mean, whatever you say about Mount, when he's playing well, he is a workhorse. So I guess we talk about Fred being the workhorse, etc. So I think Mason Mount can be that. But yeah, I'll be honest. I'm in the bunch of Manchester United fans that just wants to be proven wrong about Mason Mount. Wants to see him succeed because United have signed a lot recently. A lot of what I would call English duds. We signed a lot of English duds recently, and I'm just hoping that changes. Mount, as far as I'm concerned, was an average. I don't mean that in a bad. What's going on? Sorry about that. I froze there for a second for some odd reason. He has to be. Oh, shout out to Stephanie in the chat. Thank you for joining me, Stephanie. I appreciate it. You can subscribe to the channel and saying that he has to be a success. Yeah, I think he has to be a success. Especially when you're carrying the shirt number like that. In my personal opinion, it just. I think it's because I'm just a bit burnt. I'll be honest. I know there's a bias here, but I'm just a bit burnt with English type players recently. We got burnt by Maguire spending. We spent £80 million on getting Harry Maguire. He's going to be, England's up and coming best centre back. And to be fair, so he's all right. He is all right, but we he was a flop. Then Sancho, 79 million. England's best up and coming right winger, gonna be good. Burnt again. Even Wan-Bissaka, as much as I love the guy, he's not. He still has his issues. And then you add Luke Shaw, who's just becoming good last 2 or 3 seasons. And I don't know. I just think that I really hope Mount hits the ground running because, like I said, I'm just getting a little bit tired of United paying high wages and high fees for English players that, at the end of the day, are actually average, and we're buying into this kind of hype, so that they are. That's my 2 cents anyway. That's my 2 cents. Shout out to King Stash for super chat. Thank you so much. I don't think I've had the super chat for a while, man. So thank you, King Stash. I really appreciate it. And your kind donation. Appreciate it. So is Mason Mount going to play as a winger? Why 7? I don't know where Mason Mount's going to play. A part of me thinks that would he play because like I said, I don't understand playing Mount and Bruno as 2 8s. I think that leaves us very, very exposed. Personally, I think it leaves us very exposed. I don't see. I don't think it's a good idea for I don't think it's a good idea for him to play as a on what can he play on the wing? Probably he probably could. He probably could. He could probably play on the wing, but I don't know. It's the answer question. I don't know. I generally don't know where he's going to play, but the alternative is that you play him deeper along, and he plays the Eriksen role. But can he really play the Eriksen role? Can he really play? Can he really play the Eriksen role? I don't. Deep alongside Casemiro. I mean, unless Ten Hag coaches the hell out of this guy, I could only go based on what I saw him at Chelsea, and what I saw at Chelsea was he was number 8. He worked hard. He pressed. Essentially like Fred. Except I'd make a case that Fred in some ways is better because he has more energy, is not as injury prone, and also scores goals. I think Fred actually. I'm fairly sure Fred scored more goals than Mason Mount last season, and that's saying something. And we're like, oh, Fred had more GAs, more assists than Mason Mount last season. But we're like, but Mason Mount's gonna be world class. I'm like, well, let's see. I'm reserving my judgment. I'm reserving my judgment based on Mason Mount, in my personal opinion. So, but let me know what you guys think. But thank you, Shoes at King Stash. Abdullah Iran says Manchester United sources claim they will make a 50 million offer for 109 in the next few days. Yes, so we are going to be doing my shout out. For those obviously who are watching, and shout out to the 20 people that are watching, thank you so much. Make sure you like the vid. We are going to be doing on top of like doing a sales update every week, we're doing a transfer update. So me and Tom will be doing at least 2 shows every week up until the beginning of the season, which is a sale update whenever that, and then when obviously when a sale gets resolved, we won't be doing those anymore. But we're doing a transfer show update, and that should be on Monday. I will put a poll in the community tab to see what days people prefer, but Mondays is probably when we will do it by ourselves. I'll put a poll. We'll see. But yeah, so Onana will be the topic of it. Hoyland and as well as others will be doing weekly transfer updates, and Tom will give us the latest transfer insider gossip for that. So stay tuned for our weekly transfer show as well. Stephanie again says it's not just transfer fee, but his improved salary for joining us. Hope he's not enough a mercenary. Needs to hit the ground running to get fan base on. Yeah, exactly. I you know, I don't think he's a mercenary, because clearly he wanted to leave Chelsea, and Chelsea can pay high wages regardless. You know, that we pay more. It is interesting that he didn't. I know it is a weird the way. I think what's weird about Mount's the way he left Chelsea. You know, he was Corbyn, Chelsea through and through, etc., and he left Chelsea in such a weird way. Like, he fell out with what looks like probably 4 managers in Tuchel, then Potter. Well, mostly Potter, to be honest, and then Lampard, and then the other guy, the interim. And then the ownership. I don't know. It's a bit strange. But yeah, he has to hit the ground running, because I think a lot of fans like me are like, I'm reserving my judgment on it. I'm not going to hype this guy, because, like I said, I'm a bit tired of hyping English players that come. You know, people they hype Sancho, they hype Maguire. You know, we spent 80 million, 75 million respectively. We're not paid as much for Mount, but it's still, for me, you know, I just think that we should just relax with Mason Mount personally. And if he delivers, and if he gets a lot of goals and assists, shout out to the guy. I'm happy for him. But if he doesn't, you know, it is what it is. King Sash says, I always listen, but usually I'm working when you're live. It's why I don't mess too much. Love the content. Thanks so much, King Sash. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, so I'm trying to have more fixed time shows, and I think that this time 10:30, which is 10:30 BST, is when I probably will be doing most of my live shows, at least until the beginning of the season, when we'll obviously do post-match reactions, etc. Yeah, for the time being, most of my shows, welcomes, transfer updates, sales updates, all these will be around by 10:30 BST, just so that people are aware. And Stephanie again says Fred has had more goals than Chelsea at one point. Think when Lampard took over. Yes, that was mad. That was mad. That was actually mad. That was actually mad. Actually mad. Yeah, Fred. I mean, for all your sake, Fred isn't good enough. Just remember that he had more goals than Chelsea had at one point. Just saying. You know, I personally, I feel it would be a mistake to sell Fred. I'm not liking this idea that we're wanting to offload Fred and McTominay. Not because I think that they are good enough for United, but because we need at least, for me, we need 7 in a squad. We need at least 6 or 7 midfielders, 7 ideally in a squad. And right now, if you let Fred and McTominay go, you know, you're down to Bruno, Casemiro, Ericsson, Mount, and Donny van der Beek, I think. And that's 5. And quite frankly, I can't trust Donny van der Beek. I still don't think he's really shown what he can do. I think he should probably leave personally. If you're talking about midfielders that should go first, Donny van der Beek should go first. It's just not working. And then Ericsson, again, he took the injury. We'll see. I'm not saying he's bad. He's good, but I just think that with his age and the injury, etc., can you rely on him not being injury prone or have any issues? I'm not sure. So really and truly, Mount even had a long injury layoff last season. So your fittest defenders are midfielders are Casemiro, Bruno, and Fred, and always have been. They're always going to be there. So we need to just bear that in mind. Manchester United, it's about building a squad, and every single January, the same thing has been happening season after season. We get to January, and we realize, crap, we don't have any forwards, we don't have any midfielders, we have injury issues. We need to build the squad, and I would be cautious about that. But yeah, Mason Mount's a nice addition. Luke Chapman, follow Kieran Barry on the turn to Northampton Town. I think you've commented before. You love Northampton Town for some reason. Jeffrey McKenzie says Ten Hag when in Holland. Ten Hag when in Holland plays with two pressing number 8s in a 4-3-3 formation. Zoom when you swing with Ajax. Yes, I agree. So I agree that can work. The problem, however, is that I don't really see currently how that will work with this Manchester United squad, because Bruno is not really a great. Because I don't know. For me, you could do that with Fred. So if you're going to do that, use Fred and maybe Mount to press, then fine. I don't think Bruno's that great at pressing. So unless you're going to play Bruno on the wing or Mount on the wing, I don't see how Bruno and Mount press consistently together in that way. I don't think. And on top of that, because they're not good at it, well, Bruno is not good at it. Mount maybe is okay at it. As soon as they go attacking, it leaves us exposed, because it's one thing to be able to press, but it's also another thing to actually be able to be good on the ball and have good ball retention. And all three of our midfielders currently don't have that. Even Casimo's ball retention is not that great. So you've got to bear that in mind as well, in my personal opinion. I want my number 7 to be able to do a step over. Does Mount know how to do a step over? Maybe he does. Maybe we're being a bit too harsh on Mason Mount. Maybe Mason Mount does know how to do a step over. So we're being a bit too harsh on the guy. I think it's one of those that we will literally see what happens. But I hope for his sake and our sake that he hits the ball rolling. I mean, he's died. Did he dye his hair? He went blonde, and I was like, "Oh, wait, maybe blonde Mason Mount might be different." But his hair is back now, so we'll see what happens. Stephanie again says Amrabat looks perfect solution for midfield. Real box-to-box player that has a great tackle. Looks a bit like Joan Sebastian Bon as well. Yeah, I mean, the only thing with Amrabat is is it World Cup tax? Is it World Cup tax? So he was great at the World Cup. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that I just think the frustrating thing for me is that we had players like McAllister, Brighton, you have Caicedo. We had Premier League proven players that could have come into the squad. And we might even got on Kovacic from Chelsea, who knows? And we just weren't in for any of them, and we're taking risks with players. Okay, not Mount, but Mount for me is average. But we're potentially taking risks with players that may not hit the ground running. I'd have loved us to sign Caicedo. I actually just give Brighton 150 mil for Caicedo and McAllister. Boom. That's our midfield sorted, in my personal opinion. But no, Mason Mount. But, fair enough. Like I said, I hope Manchester United's new number 7 does very, very well for the football club. It's just that as things stands now, I think Manchester United need more. We need to sign another midfielder, because if we let McTominay and Fred go and Casemiro gets another lengthy suspension like he's always done, who plays that position? Mount cannot play as a DM. He can't. So who plays it there? Bruno can't. Mount can't. Eriksen definitely can't. So this is what I'm saying. We need to be Who is basically the deputy for Casemiro? Who is it? So we've got to bear that in mind. But regardless, and thanks for that compliment, Stephanie. Regardless, I welcome Mason Mount. I hope that he does very, very, very well for Manchester United. And you never know. He won the Champions League with Chelsea. He assisted in that goal. Maybe in a weird way, he might be the difference. Who knows? You don't know. You don't know. But I know that a lot of Chelsea fans, and I certainly have hope, would be very, 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 very pissed if Mason Mount somehow wins a Champions League with Manchester United. So, but we can only dream. We can only dream. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, there's not that much to say, really. I mean, oh yes, Stephanie, good shout. Paulina at Fulham, an option. Use Fred as part of the deal. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. The main thing for me is that we need to sign off midfielder. If you're gonna let Fred and or McTominay go, we need to sign off midfielder. We can't be in a situation where, much like with our strikers this season, is that we sell the players go, or we sell them, and we have less squad depth than we had when we began. Because, like I said, I don't trust Donny van der Beek. Ericsson, I did, but the injury made me question it a bit, and especially because of his age. Obviously, Casemiro is getting older, so we've got a lot of old midfielders. And in fairness to Mount is young, so I will give him that, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Paulina at Fulham would be a good thing if we're going to switch. But I do wonder if, Fulham would actually do that deal personally. I mean, they may be thinking, hey, we can sign Fred and Paulina and boss things. Why don't we do that? I mean, we can do that, but who knows? But yeah, in conclusion, and in summary, welcome to Manchester United, Mason Mount. Like I said, this is a short live. I'm not going to be going for an hour and a half like I normally do, because this is just a welcome to Manchester United video for Mason Mount, and just to give my brief thoughts on it. We'll probably have a much more extended show when Tom comes back for our transfer update and also our sale update as well. But shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you for watching. Make sure you comment on the video below. It helps with the algorithm. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Mason Mount will be a successful signing for Manchester United? Do you think that he takes us to the next level? Do you think he has a lot of shoes to fill wearing the number 7 shirt? Let me know. Have a nice evening, guys, and cheers. Peace out. Peace.